Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Are the People. This is Jacob Milton. Sometimes I myself find somewhere that no one wants to be. There's a hot seat, but hey, what can I do? The residents of Queens County deserve fairness. When I say fairness, fairness in all aspects, especially when it's come to the judicial system. So, residents of Queens County, sometimes they approach me that Jacob, there's a race for district attorneys, there's a race for judges, there's a race for city council members and others. But these one, sometimes I'm a little bit skeptical because usually those type of elections never took place in the county of Queens because Democratic Party's Queens County, they handpick people. Has nothing to do with the people. Do you know how they pick? In a closed door. No relationship with the public views, no relationship of referendum or anywhere. They just make a decision and says, here is my goat, you have to slaughter or you have to eat that meat, whether it is contaminated or fresh meat. That's the way Queens County was running for the last 28 years. What can I say? There's a guy, he used to call him Lord of Queens County Democratic Party. But guess what? When it's come to the public office, no one is bigger. Sometimes when tornado hit, big tree goes down. So the Lord or dictator of Queens Democratic Party is gone and there is a fresh start. So at this time, residents of Queens County, they have to choose two important positions they have to fill. One is Queens District Attorney's Office, another is a judicial system. They have to elect a judge. And you know that Queens County, it's a Democratic county. Republican Party has no chance in a primary election. So whoever is going to get elected or get nominated from the Democratic Party in a general election, he or she will be the judge. There's one thing was bothering me for the last 25, 26 years. There is not many minority individual or attorney or judges are sitting on the bench in a Queens County. Why is that? Why? Because it's controlled by some special people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna continue bad-mouthing Queens Democratic Party. Today, I become lucky to have one of the individual, happens to be one of us, is running for judicial position in Queens County. What a lucky day. I met her. She looks fantastic, beautiful, and she's strong. I saw her background, fantastic individual with the right education, right professional experience. If she get elected and sit down on the bench, I'll be so proud of her. So, ladies and gentlemen, come join me. We're gonna meet our today's guest, who is running for judicial position in Queens County. That election, primary election, will be held on June 25th. That's what we are looking for. So, ladies and gentlemen, come. As I says, I'm lucky enough today. I'll like every one of you become lucky enough to meet the gentle lady who is running for Queens County's Judicial Department as a judge. Ladies and gentlemen, that individual is no other than LuMarie Maldonado Cruz. I'm happy that I pronounced her name. Am I right?
Yes, you did.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jay.
What a lucky day. What a lucky day. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. First thing I would like to say a little bit good things. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I met lots of people, and your face and your qualification and experience is making lots of people proud. And they're looking at you, that what a courage, what an inspiration that lady is taking the first step to protect the right of the minority in Queens County. How do you feel about that comment?
I am humbled by the support, Jacob. From the beginning, I had a little trepidation. You know, challenging the establishment is something that it's scary, but you know, I felt it was my obligation to step up, and here I am.
Here is one question, very interesting way, let me put it this way. When a defendant in a court system, in a criminal procedure, when they have a witness, Queens District Attorney has a habit to call the witness and scare them.
Okay.
Tell them not to be a witness, even if it is truthful, says, hey, we're going to put you in trouble. So don't come here, become a witness. Why I mention this? Now you are anti-establishment candidate.
That's correct.
And this establishment endorsed one individual of their own. The gentleman who was an assistant district attorney, who was a real estate attorney, on the other hand, he became a referee. He is selling house in auction. Now, when they endorsed him, literally, indirectly telling everyone, person like Maldonado Cruz, you shouldn't support her.
That's correct.
Because she is not one of our own. Do you support that comment? Do you support that view? How do you feel about that view?
I think that the courts belong to the people, and the power to continue to select judges should be given back. In essence, what's been happening is that when the people finally get an opportunity to select their judges is at the general election.
Right.
So all the candidates have already been sorted out through primaries. And because as a community, sometimes we undermine the importance of a primary, we don't come out.
Right.
And just to let everybody know, this primary, the judicial primary, we're making history. This hasn't happened in decades. So in essence, it has not been the people of Queens that's elected that bench.
You tell me something. Now I have to ask you this question. Why no candidate challenged the establishment candidate for the last over a decade? Why?
Again, like I was telling you before, it's a scary thing, right?
Is it a scary, or there's intimidation by the establishment, or there is something else?
I will have to say a little bit of everything, but I could only speak for my own personal experience. I believe that, you know, you need courage.
Absolutely,
and the 2018 midterm elections gave me that courage. We still feel the aftermath of the 2018 elections. And it is now that Queens County has become a frontier of empowering women and empowering minorities. And we must take advantage of that, right? Because we won't get this opportunity again.
Okay.
It won't happen again. And it is now that we're making history. It is now that we actually get a real choice.
Miss Cruz, you're an attorney.
Yes, I am.
You successfully helped the community as a defense counsel. You worked. Your husband is also an attorney.
Yes.
Okay. There's lots of views of your husband. He should run for public office. We're not going to talk about it. But let's talk about something else. Now, question is, when you decided that you're going to run for Queens judicial system as a judge, you knew that you're not going to get the support of the Democratic Party establishment.
That's correct.
What was your main courage or inspiration you got it that you have to do this?
The lack of diversity on the Queens bench. Queens is the borough with the most misdemeanor incarcerations, and that is a reflective of the system that continues to disregard the needs of our communities. We need to integrate the bench with people that come from the community, that have the same background, the same lifetime experiences, because the courts are full of people, and we want to be judged by people like us.
There's one thing you mentioned, that misdemeanor imprisonment. Most of the misdemeanor conviction, people shouldn't even go to prison.
That's
but
right.
They are going to prison. Why is that? Is it kind of business? Prison business?
I can't speak.
Prison business or conviction business that Queens District Attorney's Office is doing?
I can't speak to the reasons why, but the only thing that I could tell you, Jacob, is that in order to effectuate change, we must elect people that understand the issues, right? Criminal justice reform begins at the bench. And
Absolutely.
if you have people that come from the community and understand the issues, you will effectuate change one judge at a time.
Your opponent is walking around and telling, okay, I'm being endorsed by big organization, Queens DA's office. Importantly, he is being endorsed by the Queens Democratic Party only because he used to work as an assistant district attorney. He was under the banner of Richard Brown, who was not a resident of Queens County but running Queens District Attorney's Office for the last 29 or 28 years. Now question is, he is getting all those big endorsements, but you are not. You are being supported by a grassroots people, poor people, minority, immigrant. How do you feel about that?
I feel empowered. I feel empowered because they are the ones that put me on that ballot. They are the ones that are going to get me elected, because we, as Queens residents, we need change. And yeah, he's got the endorsement for the party, but I have the people's endorsement. And that counts for everything, because the courts belong to the people.
On the other hand, he's going to come up and he's going to put it, oh, I have that much experience and Miss Cruz don't have that much experience. In a comparison wise, how would you respond to that argument?
You know what I have that he doesn't have? I'm a woman. I'm a woman of color, and I grew up as a woman of color. So I know the struggles and the obstacles that I had to overcome as a minority to get to where I'm at. And those are the people that are going to come in front of, into the courtroom. Those people with the same backgrounds, same struggles, because we as a community, the same issues are across the board. Right? We as a minority share the same experiences, and we know firsthand the obstacles that society places in one's path because we sound and we look different. And that's what I bring with me. Yes, I have a legal background, but I also have lifetime experiences that make me a better candidate.
Have another issue. There's a lots of whispering is going on in the market. I don't know, you cannot answer the question, but I'd like to ask you your opinion. That whispering is your opponent, in one hand, he said himself as a real estate attorney in the past. Then he says, I'm doing a foreclosure defense. On the other hand, he became a referee doing an auction and making money. And now he is running for a judgeship. Under what circumstances is contradict his own professional life? How he's going to serve as a judge?
I cannot speak for him, Jacob. I could only say to me that I have a trajectory of law in the service of human needs. From the very beginning, I've worked for the people, I've served the people of New York, and as a jurist, I hope to be blessed to continue to do that work.
I'll ask you some statistics. How many minority judges or women is sitting right now in Queens County judicial system?
So, 16 seats in civil court, 2 belong to Latinas. Out of 40 seats in Supreme, 2 belong to Latinas.
Why is that? Because in Queens County, there is almost 37 to 48% is Latino voter. And there is a lot of Asian voter, Southeast Asian voter, African American voter. How come there is only 2?
Is the control that the establishment has had over the judiciary. And is again, and the alternative is to continue to enable a system that disregards the needs of our communities. The lack of diversity on the Queen's bench gave me the reason to run, Jacob.
I have another question to ask you. U.S. Supreme Court, when they put Clarence Thomas, they says, wow, we did a great job. We put a black guy as a judge of Supreme Court. And then later on, they put another judge, Puerto Rican judge. What's her name?
Sonia Sotomayor.
Okay. So they says, okay, let's wash our hand. We did our job. Do you think they did their job?
No, Jacob, I don't think so. I think that the judiciary should represent 100% the community, and it must evolve with the community. One person is not the same as the mirroring of a community.
When we go to the civil court of Queens County, most of the staff in a higher position, higher level, court clerk or some other people, we see all, hey, I'm not anti-Caucasian people. I'm not. Because I never felt like I'm minority, but even though they are treating us that way, but when we go to the clerk room or office room, most of the time we see one Caucasian big guy sitting down over there with his stick. Why we don't see diversity over there, that there is a Latino, Asian minority sitting down on the bench? If you go there, would you promise me on this television program that you're going to fight for the more administrative staff of colored people or minority?
I will do my best, to the best of my ability, to talk to the powers that be, because there is an administrative part of the unified court system. Yeah. And I will, of course, always advocate for my communities.
Another question I have to ask you. There's lots of judges in Queens County, and almost all of them are got nominated or selected. Why I say selected? Because there wasn't any election. They are already occupied the chair by the Democratic missionaries. Don't you think you would be minority even if you get elected?
I will always be a minority, Jacob. I was born a woman of color, and in today's society, we will always have those obstacles, but it is up to us to stop living as minorities, because the numbers don't lie. We're no longer a minority. And once we understand that we could make a change and we can make a difference, we will stop acting like minorities. And we must teach and let others know that we no longer going to accept that stereotype, that we no longer will get whatever they decide to give us just to shut us up. We must stand up as a community and take our rightful place in this society.
At the same time, do you believe that minority has a responsibility not to act like minority?
Yes, that's correct. So people will always look at me as a minority woman of color, but I don't hold myself as a minority woman of color because I am not. I am an American. I am an American, and I am under the law deserving of equal treatment. And I am not a minority. Again, the numbers don't lie.
You are an American, you went to the school, you went to the college, you went to the university, you have your degree. Based on your qualification experience, you hold position, you help people. Why they're going to tag that you are a minority? Is it fair?
No, it's not fair. That's society. Society continues to put labels on people that sound and look different.
Who has created society?
Humans.
Okay, all the humans, they're not Caucasian. There is some Latinos and Asians too.
That's correct.
Then we have to, it's a very good suggestion that you said it. If we accept of our identity as a minority, then we'll always be minority because we are not living in 60s.
That's correct.
That's civil rights law passed. Now we have equal rights, but we are still acting like a, hey, we are the victim. Can we afford to act like a victim, or we should fight back and hold our position?
And that's what I'm doing. We are fighting back, and I never intended to become the voice of a revolution, right? Of a movement, because in essence this is a movement. This is the first time that judicial primary is happening in Queens County. And why? Because I dared to run, because I think that we as a community must take a stand and effectuate change. And it's through the electorate that we force change.
Are you proud of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
I am.
What do you think? How is she running her position? How she's revolving? How she's energizing entire America?
I believe that she continues to stand for what she ran for. Right? She ran for a platform of improvement, of a progressiveness that needs to be implemented in society, and she's staying true to her values. And that's commendable, because once you get to where you need to go, people forget that. And I commend her.
Shouldn't we feel proud that one of our own now is standing like 10 feet tall woman, yes, and raising her voice at the U.S. House of Representatives?
That's correct. And we all should emulate her courage. We must stop sitting idle on the sidelines, afraid of what's going to happen. If we don't take a stand and effectuate change, still things will never change. And we have to stop complaining and not do anything about it. We must stand and make change happen.
I already made up my mind. I'm going to vote for you. You're a fighter. There is another thing I have to. Someone asked me, when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was running, lots of people told her, oh, she's running just to buy name. Joe Crowley is going to win. But guess what? There is a word, no big to fail. No. She pulled that big tree down. Right now, lots of people are saying, why LuMarie Maldonado Cruz is running. And I was looking at the people's eyes. I says, don't underestimate her. She's a fighter. She's going to push that institution down, and she's going to stand up tall. Yes. LuMarie, I'm really proud of you that you made that decision. And I know you are busy, you are running here and there. I saw you on every social media that you, your husband, your children, everyone is doing your best.
Yes, she's here with me.
She's here, and I'm really proud that you are doing this. And on the other hand, it's not as a minority. Most of the colored people, immigrant, and those who are general people, those who are not blessed like Democratic parties, Queens counties, committees, and others, everybody is behind you. They're praying for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And wish you good luck. And in the future, definitely. I know once you get elected, you're not going to be allowed to sit down with me. There will be a burden. But in the future, I'd like to see LuMarie Maldonado Cruz. I'd like to call you in the future Just Cruz.
I would love that. And I would like to tell everybody to please come out and vote on June 25th. It is important that everybody remembers that day. It is your right as an American citizen, as a citizen. It is a right that was fought for. Don't take it for granted and come out and vote. Hi, I am LuMarie Maldonado Cruz, and I am running for civil court judge because the 2018 midterm elections gave me the courage. The lack of diversity on the Queen's bench gave me the reason. For the past decades, for a few decades, there has not been a judiciary primary in Queens County, and the alternative is to continue to enable a system that disregards the needs of our community. As a judge, I will include everyone. As a judge, my vision is to be a judge of inclusion, equality, and integrity. I bring with me not only legal background, but lifetime experiences that you could relate to. I've been a poor person. I come from a poor, broken home. I worked 2 jobs while attending John Jay College. I graduated CUNY School of Law with 2 children on my back. I know what it is to struggle. I know what the issues are. I will be a good judge, your judge, because the courts belong to the people. Let's give that right back to the people. On June 25th, come out and vote, and I promise you that I will be the best judge to the best of my ability. I will implement the law, fairness, without bias or favor, and I will hold the law to the best of my ability, regardless of race, gender, creed, or other traits.
Well, what can I say? We need people, regular people, until you talk to them, know their background, learn a little more, then you know what you are going to do, how that person you are going to evaluate. I met LuMarie Cruz a couple of times. In my views, she was a strong woman. No doubt in my mind, she is a qualified woman who went to law school. And today I learned she went to school with 2 children. Guess what? It's like a American dream. Lots of people are struggling. They're trying to put their life together. These are women who struggle to become educated, then become an attorney. It's not a matter of joke. Hey, you can become a McDonald's manager. You can. There's nothing wrong if you become a manager of a supermarket. But how many people will go to law school and finish his or her education and become an attorney or a professional? I'm really proud that whoever, even if she's not going to get elected, still I'll be proud of her that she become an attorney. On the other hand, being a citizen of Queens County, we deserve better. For the last over a couple of decades, there was no challenge at the primary for the judicial position. Why is that? It sounds like we are living in Panama or we are living in Nicaragua, that there is no election. But this time, she's making a difference. She's confronting the Democratic establishment in Queens County, saying, no, I'm running against you guys. You guys have a couple of powerful people behind you, but I have mighty citizens and people on the street. They are behind me. Ladies and gentlemen, only thing I would ask you to think. In America, they say, hey, I'm not judgmental. That's a wrong question, that we are not judgmental. We should be judgmental. Why? Because without judging our own friend at the school, we don't even say hello. Now, are we going to elect a judge because that judges or nominee got picked up by Democratic Party? Why? Why we are not give a fair chance to the person who dare to challenge Democratic establishment in Queens County? Ladies and gentlemen, not being a television moderator, but the citizen or people of Queens County, I'm asking you, take a look at LuMarie Maldonado Cruz, who is running for judgeship. In my view, she's qualified, she's eloquent, she has a provable background. Most of all, she's one of our own. Lots of people says, hey, I'm going to vote for her, but that's not enough. Ask your friends, ask your mother, ask your relative that there's a lady LuMarie Maldonado Cruz is running on June 25th. We all have to go out and vote for her. Once everybody does, then we can say, do you know what? We did our job. We can cry at the sidelines saying, hey, we are minority. Don't make that cry. She made one important point. We can play victim, or we can stand tall and fight the system to configure where we are going to sit down, where would be our position. As the father of political science, James Wilford Garner, once he says, you can become a critic by sitting down on the sideline and you can keep criticizing the system, but system is not going to change. You want to change the system? You have to become someone, go into the system, fight the system, and do the reform. That's what LuMarie Maldonado Cruz is doing. You, me, and everybody in Queens County, we should support her above and beyond. That's all I can tell you today. And on June 25th, I don't know about everybody, I'll go to the polling booth and I'm going to vote for her. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show tonight. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching us.